It's the Frenemies Fantasy Football Podcast, and I'm your host, Dale. With me, I got one half of my team here. Oh, my goodness.
The
Where's
best
all of
half.
that?
The best half.
Yes, I got half of the team here. What's up, Tim?
How
What's
you
going on, man?
how you doing, Dale?
Yo, got doing this little live thing on YouTube for sure. Still working out the little bugs and everything. I just had my little audio from my phone because I want to make sure everything is working on YouTube. So I pull it up on my phone, and of course, it plays from the speaker. So that's what we got going on, man. I got a lot of buttons here to press. Hopefully, the stuff works right, and we get a nice little recording for the audio podcast and everything. But for everybody out there joining us on Twitter, if I mean on YouTube at least, let us know something. Send us a little comment or something. We'll put you all on the show. But you know how we do, man. We got to get started with drinks. So Tim, what are you drinking today, man?
Oh man, today is actually probably my number one beer. All right. It's Lazy Magnolia. That's the beer company. And it's Southern Pecan. It's the name of the beer. I think I've drank it on the show before.
Yeah, Southern
But
Pecan. Okay, I've heard about that one.
right there. Hey, we're ready for advertisers, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Right?
I'm willing to drink just about any beer you got if you want to provide it. So
Well, he got nothing today.
yeah. I've got no beer today because Kyle threw us off here. I'm blaming Kyle.
Oh,
Okay. All Kyle fault. That's right.
we
That's
can
right.
blame Kyle.
If you got something to say about it, say something, Kyle. Oh, you don't have anything to say, sorry.
My bad.
Well, yeah, man. Just kind of tying up a few loose ends. We hadn't done a show since right around the Super Bowl time. Our Pick'em champion, congrats to the Queefers for pulling that one out. So he's a champ. I came in third place. You know,
We're not. Oh wait, never mind. Wrong league. We're not talking about that league.
nope, it's Pick'em. We're talking about Pick'em right
Oh,
now.
pick 'em. All right.
Yeah. No, notice person next to Tim. He did not win. All right.
I gave up on Pick'em League. That was
Uh-huh.
terrible. It was terrible.
Uh-huh. That's right, because you're a loser. That's what it
Hey, get it up there, Burns, as fast as he can.
Yep.
So,
All right, man. So since we started a little bit late, we're gonna try to push through this thing, and hopefully we can give you guys a good show here. So we're gonna start things off with the spotlight, and here we go. Dale's Rookie Spotlight. That's right.
wow.
It's the spotlight, baby. And we are here and we're going to talk about Jalen Carter, the defensive tackle from Georgia. 6'3", 310 pounds. The guy he made a lot of news. We will get into that in a bit. But, we had the combine this past week, and he was there, was scheduled to work out, and that didn't happen. But some of the things about Jalen Carter, it was said that he was a force against the run. He's probably the top defensive tackle available in the draft. He's still developing as a pass rusher. He's probably not going to be that guy, but definitely a run stuffer. He uses his strength and leverage. Run stuffer. Yes, that's what I said.
I just want to make sure.
He uses his strength and leverage to hold his ground. He has good quickness to attack the gaps. He plays with good balance. Some of his weaknesses is he's limited in his pass rush. He can play a little high. I mean, who doesn't play a little bit high coming out of college? And just doesn't have the variety of pass rush moves, which you can also expect from a rookie. So the biggest thing is his legal trouble. He got into some legal trouble, and it really like caught up to him like at the draft. He had to leave the. I'm sorry, at the combine. He had to leave the combine to go and talk to police. It was about a
Wow.
speed racing kind of deal. So his young kids.
Right.
Uh, and yeah, he was out
Right.
there racing, but like they're racing in expeditions and stuff, Tim. Like this, it's not sports cars they're racing in. All right,
I'm wondering what are we racing here?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But the person he was racing against looked like they died in this crash, one car
Oh,
accident and everything, and so he fled the
wow.
scene.
That's different.
Um, come back like an hour later, talk to police. He ended up giving some kind of false statements. Looks like. So listen,
Wow.
it's gonna be a stuff that have to get ironed out. Okay, it's a lot more than just reckless driving and all of
Mhm.
that stuff. So that's gonna definitely hurt his draft stock. We're gonna see how much it's gonna hurt his draft stock. I still think he's gonna go somewhere in the first round because just looking at defensive tackle, there was nobody else in his league. So I
Yeah.
think he's gonna be still in that top 15, but we'll see how his legal situation plays out, man. So you heard
Wow.
anything about Jalen Carter this week?
No, no, I'm not researching this dude. I do know. Are you kidding me? Come on.
It's like the top story coming out the combine here.
Yeah, yeah. You know how little I'm paying attention to that kind of news. But why wait until he's at the combine for the cops to come up and interview him then, right? Unless you got some malicious intent behind what you're trying to do as well. Unless he's been dodging them. Does that make
Legal
sense too?
process is slow. Like, Kamara
Yeah.
is going to have his court date set for July or something like that, and
Yeah.
this was something that happened last year. So
Yeah.
it's the legal process. It
I
just
got you.
takes a while.
So you also talked about him going in the top 15. And
Mhm.
that's kind of hard push, right? Because this is supposed to be a quarterback deep draft also. So like you're over here saying it's going to be in the top 15, but there's going to probably be five quarterbacks, I'm guessing, taken in the top 15.
Well, I don't know about that.
You
You
think
got what
so?
Bryce Young, Stroud, Levis, like those are three for sure.
Three.
And then you got the guy from Florida, Richardson. Maybe. Then after that, like, who's the fifth guy?
I don't know.
you
I don't know. I don't think
know,
he's going to be going top 15 though. So
we will see here, man. Um, I just hate it for the guy because losing a lot of money with
yeah,
allegations and stuff swirling. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
all right, well let's go on over to your segment here, Tim.
That is there
Sweeping in, huh?
is there audio too? Because I didn't hear the audio on the last one.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I
Oh
just
well.
saw the video.
Okay, well, there is supposed to be audio, and there's audio in my ear playing, and I'm pretty sure you will hear the audio on the podcast and see it on YouTube. But hey, it is what it is. Here we go. Let's get over to Tim's segment here. Come on down to Timmy's Used Car Emporium.
Oh my gosh! Look at that.
That's a good call, Papa.
That's right. Timmy's Used Car Emporium, open for business. What you got for us today, Tim?
That was a junkyard, Dale. You just saw a picture of a junkyard.
It's the Used Car Emporium, Tim. Okay?
Oh my gosh! Oh
Right.
man! Gosh. You know what? The fact that you're as short as you are befits you for being such a troll. All right, you got the beard out now. The people can see the beard. All that Papa Smurf gray shit growing on in that beard nowadays. All right, so yeah, it's very deserving. Oh my gosh! All right, so this week I wanted to talk about draft picks because we're going to be making some trades. All right, and
What? Trades.
trades. Little Dale knows I've been trying feverishly to make trades in our league, and he's been doing a very effective job of cutting me off every second I try to make trades.
I
So
cut you off.
Yeah, all this bad talk you have about me and my used cars. So
People just look at the
they
car lot and like, you know
they,
what?
they have the best 3,000 mile warranty in the business. All right.
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
So look, my I got these notes from our league in the big league that we're in from a couple of years back. I crunched all these numbers,
Mhm.
and the I wanted to put a value on what my draft picks are, what I'm going to keep year to year. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So if I spend a first round this year to get a guy, what's the percentage that I'm going to keep that guy in the for the next year? And if I get a second, what if I get a third? What I'm looking for is value. I always want to buy the value, and so I found out the zone that most people don't really value a pick, but there's still some value left is the fourth round. That's my favorite pick. Dell knows that
Right.
very for sure.
Yep.
There have been years I've had half the fourth round as my last picks, last six picks or so, and so here's my percentages that I had. First round, there's 95% of those are going to be kept the next year. First round picks. Second round picks is roughly 75%. Third round was about 48, but I counted as 50%. And then fourth round was 12 and a half. And fifth round was 2%. So one dude was kept out of the whole fifth round roughly over a couple of years. It was like this was 3 years of data that I
Okay.
collected. And so that gives you kind of the standpoint where your sweet spot is for finding value in a draft pick
Hmm.
at one point. And that's why I don't typically trade for anything under a fourth round pick in any trades I make. Um, I'll trade away my lower picks, but I don't have any other picks going on after that. Now here's the flip side too when you're trading with a team, is that when you get a draft pick, I call it compound interest, right? You know what compound interest is, Dell?
Yeah. Hmm.
We've had a few conversations about compound interest, right? How the
Okay.
banks like to rape you. They like, we'll call it bank stuffing. Like
Right.
Dale's word of the day is stuffing. You know, so,
Okay.
all right, the banks like to stuff you. So what it is that an even rounded draft pick gets better if the team gets better the next year. All
And
right.
this is the snake draft situation you're talking about.
Snake draft situation.
Okay.
So if you're predicting a team is going to get better, you want to trade for their even rounded picks.
Right.
Second round, fourth round, sixth round.
Hmm.
And sixth round is a really good spot to get early on until you build a couple of picks up in other trades. But but if you think if you go for an odd rounded pick, odd rounded draft picks get better if the team gets worse the next year.
Okay.
I got that backwards. I got all that backwards.
All
Because
right.
odd rounded picks get
Gets
no, that's right.
worse
That was
when
right.
the team is good,
I was thinking.
but
I
the
was thinking.
even gets better when the team is good. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I got
Mhm.
that right. Sorry, I had it right
Mhm.
the first time. So it gets worse next year versus the other. So you want to trade for their odd rounded picks, and you're predicting whether a team is going to get better or worse,
Right.
and that's where you get a whole lot of extra value, a little bump in there, and and then the last part to iterate what I was talking about with the draft picks was that you always want to trade. I brought this up a couple of shows ago, but you always want to trade for the draft position, not the round. All right. So
Okay.
if you're trading for the 2.2, right, the 14th pick in 12 team leagues, if you're trading for the 2.2, you think of it as the 14th pick. Don't think of it as a second round pick.
Hmm.
And this will get your moves better because you'll end up realizing that other people are valuing a second round pick, but you could trade them the third from last second round pick, and they'll still value it as much as they do the
Yeah.
second pick in the second round.
Hmm.
So that's some stuff that really pisses Dale off that I enjoy doing a lot.
Well, most of the time you're doing these trades before the draft positions themselves have been
Yeah,
solidified.
yeah. Yeah, so I always know that Dale's going to finish the year behind me, so his draft picks will always be worse than mine. Right? Is that right? It's close. I mean, I could state that, right?
No,
Yeah.
no. Okay, so is this the end of Tim's segment here?
This is all right. That's the end of my. I'm done. I shut up. I'm done. Case rest. Yeah, that's it. I'm done talking.
Oh my goodness.
You got me.
All right, well, Tim, thank you for your tips here. Let's move over to talk about this NFL news. We had a trade happen today involving the first pick of the draft. So
Yes.
the Chicago Bears have traded their first overall pick to Carolina. So pick 9, pick 61, a first round pick in 24, a second round pick in 25, and DJ Moore.
DJ Moore.
Yes.
And DJ Moore.
Yes.
This is a Tim. This is the Bears took a sheet out of my playbook on making trades.
Yeah.
They went from the first pick to the number 9 pick. They moved back 8 positions.
Yep.
And then they got DJ Moore, one of the best wide receivers that I've tried to make trades for before this happened. Like last week, I tried to make those trades.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got another first round pick and like all this other junk. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Man, Chicago got their number 1 receiver. They got a bunch of picks back. Man, if they mess this up, like people need to be fired for real.
yeah.
This is a good haul, man.
Wow. Oh, you mean if the Bears mess this up?
Yeah,
or the
yeah.
Panthers?
Yeah, if the Bears mess this up, man. Like,
Oh well, the Bears always fuck everything up. We want them to. All right.
yeah, really, man. But this was a good trade, I believe, for them. So let's kind of look at what it does for the roster of Carolina.
So, all right, did you like pull out your picture of Justin Fields and like smooch it a little? 'Cause
I'll be honest. I was worried that they would end up drafting a quarterback, and then I'd be stuck with Justin Fields. And
I would love that. I would love that. They can still draft a quarterback. They
can.
Pick.
They can, yeah.
Well, that might not change anything. But here's also the flip side too, because earlier in the year they traded for Chase Claypool. Didn't they give a first round pick up for Chase Claypool?
Yeah.
This year?
Yeah. I want to say they gave up. It was another team's pick.
Yeah.
That they gave up, but yeah, they did trade for Claypool too. So
Yeah. So that was a bad trade because Claypool's not making out.
No, it's not. But if he can be a solid number 2, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
And the way it looks like they've got their number 1 and they got their number 2.
And
then they got their number 2, number 3 or number 2/3 with Mooney.
Yeah. You
right?
like solid number 2s? That's cool.
It's healthy for you, Tim.
It's healthy. Hey, we're getting old, man. You got that Metamucil going on nowadays.
So let's look at the roster here of what Carolina's left with, because they definitely need a quarterback. So that's what they moved up in the draft for, right? So you're gonna get another quarterback, but their wide receivers are now lacking, and you got Laviska Shenault and Terrence Marshall as like your only 2 receivers now. I thought they were pretty deep with DJ Moore, but now he's out of the picture. They have to replace that wide receiver position again, and they have to do that this draft.
Yeah, right now
to have any kind of chance
with that number 9 pick. Yeah.
So, I don't know if this trade will end up leading Carolina to be the second best team in the NFC South.
Who's in the NFC South?
It's the Saints, It's Falcons, the Panthers, and Bucks.
Oh, yeah, that's the bottom. That's the dumpster. That's like Oscar the Grouch.
What you talking about the
The whole yeah.
entire
Oh,
division?
yeah, yeah.
Well, listen, the Saints made the trade for Carr, and I mean they're going to be legit this year, man. Don't.
You're so
This is Saints feed. Okay, we gotta gotta be optimistic here. That's what happens to every NFL team, man. During the off season, you get really optimistic about your team. Like
Yeah.
that's the formula the NFL has that makes it so successful, because you always believe you got a chance around draft season.
All right, we'll go with that. We'll take it. We'll take it, Dale.
All right. I'm
So,
trying to find the depth chart here. Let me get the depth chart for
Chicago?
yeah.
Yeah, well, they got Mooney. They got Mooney. They got Claypool. Now they got DJ Moore. That's a true number one. All right, so what's going to happen? Mooney's going to be number two. You're solid number two.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Number 2, Mooney.
And
That's cool.
and then Cole Kmet still too. Like this affects Cole Kmet too as a tight end.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Okay, here it is. Let me get it switched on over. Okay, so this is the depth chart for Chicago. We've got that wide receiver again. Yeah, DJ Moore, Mooney, Claypool.
Okay.
You still got. They still have N'Keal Harry. Remember him, Tim?
This guy like
Remember that guy?
any chance he gets, man.
Yeah.
The 2.1 is look. You have to win the championship to get the 2.1 pick, and I'm bad at the 2.1 pick for some reason. N'Keal Harry was that year. He burnt me, and I think he burned a whole lot of other people too. So,
Yeah, he definitely got you though. That's the one I remember.
you think they're gonna? You think they're gonna let David Montgomery walk? Isn't he a free agent this year?
I don't know. Let's see.
I'm pretty sure he is. David Montgomery's one of the notable free agent running backs in fantasy, free agency right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So then, who knows where he's going to end up with? Because free agency is going to start pretty soon here, and we'll see everybody's landing spot to and then how these teams are going to form. But I think the Bears just made themselves a lot better with this trade.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're yet to see what's going to happen with Carolina, but yeah, they've got a lot more holes to fill now. So.
True.
So, yep. All right. So I guess the last thing here, I want to look at the takeaways from the combine. So that's kind of speculating, like who's moving up, who's moving down, that sort of thing.
You know I don't know these guys' names, right?
What?
I'm not that guy.
What do you mean you're not that guy, man?
I am. I'm feverishly trying to trade for the number one spot because I want Bijan Robinson.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it. That's all I care about right now.
Bijan Robinson, yeah. That's the number one running back by consensus right now. But listen, Anthony Richardson tore up the combine, and everybody is making a big deal about him because he's like the most athletic quarterback they've ever seen before in their life. Now, if you ask just any regular, normal college football fan, like, he might be a good guy, but we're looking at Bryce Young, we're looking at CJ Stroud, those kind of guys, and Bryce Young just looks small, measurables and everything. Yeah. And so I don't know how that's going to end up affecting his draft spot, but Mel Kiper was looking to see if he was going to be 195. And I want to say he came in at 205. So he probably just blown up a little bit for the combine, just so his numbers look okay.
Mama's
he's
cooking.
Still like 5'11".
That's Mama's cooking.
Yeah.
You go back home, your mama's trying to fill you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but he still looks to be the consensus number one quarterback. We got Stroud maybe number 2, followed by Levis at number 3 there. So, but Jalen Hyatt was another guy that I liked coming out of the SEC. Real speedy quarterback. I mean, a wide receiver, catching balls from Hooker, lots of deep balls.
Yeah.
That guy's going to be legit, and he put up some good numbers running a 4.4 in a 40. So, look, that's all they're looking for is that confirmation.
Yeah.
In the combine, so that way they can use their picks on you. So I think the guy did himself a lot of good, and we're going to see more people going up and down with pro days coming up pretty soon. There's going to be a lot more talk about who's going to be the top receivers, top running backs, and everything. And yeah, man, it's going to be exciting coming up here, man, with the draft. So you watch the draft, though, right?
Yeah, we'll watch the draft.
Okay.
We're going together? Me and you? Is it a date?
Going to the draft? No,
no, not going to the draft. We go watch the draft somewhere together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, because I ain't pulled this dude out in a minute. All right. I bought him some souvenirs on vacation. He ain't seen them by yet.
It's not true. I have been by. I'm sorry, not been by, but we saw each other. We saw each other after the Pro Bowl. There you go, boom.
But I went on vacation, and I bought you some souvenirs, and we got to,
Yeah. We'll get that all ironed out. It all figured out and everything. So yeah. All right. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for the show this week. Kyle, you suck. Just let you know you suck, bro. But yeah, we'll be back. We'll be having more Frenemies talk, more fantasy football. You guys check us out on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook. And yeah, we'll be back next week. Later.
Remember to follow us on Twitter and Facebook at BSnBEER Media. Or if you're old and want to write a strongly written letter, email us bsnbeer@icloud.com.